flips me off, just raises his middle finger. So I'm like, fuck that. I go over there, I'm like, hey, fuck you, and he doesn't turn around. So I just run up, shove the motherfucker down into his friends, and he's like gets back up, and he's looking at me, and he's like, fuck you, and before he even like gets fuck you out, I'm just like, boop, 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 just 3 fucking rocks, dude. It was so fast, I don't think any of my other friends knew what happened. And this dude's just stumbling back, knocks over a table and chairs, and just lays there, just
sounded like he probably could have got kicked out of that bar before.
Did not move. Well, my friends scoop me up, take me to one corner and whatnot. Everybody's like, what the fuck just happened? And then the bartender runs over. She brings me my money. She's like, here, pay and get the fuck out or you're going to get arrested. So I just get my shit and I'm getting ready to leave. And then the kid's already back up and he's already got a shiner over this eye. Yeah. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry. I was an asshole. And I'm just like, it's cool. I got to go. Yeah. Like, I'm going to get arrested if I stay here.
The moral of the story is like 70% of bar fights happen because of like somebody set something somewhere that shouldn't be set.
Well, I shouldn't have.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't have hit the guy, honestly.
Are you sitting in my chair? Yeah, we're going to fight.
Did you just look at my girl's ass? I know it's hanging out of a miniskirt, but
you looked at it. I saw them eyes,
bro.
Yeah, it's borderline ridiculous. And that I'm just using I've been in like 4 of those, so don't feel bad about your one.
Damn, I was really feeling salty about my one. Like I was glad I knocked the kid out, but then I was like, God, I could have got arrested, and I won't.
I could have went to jail.
I won't fare well in jail, man.
No. Way too fair.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
like,
dude. Hold on.
You might be okay. You might be okay.
You would be the tattoo artist, dog.
Exactly.
Everybody's gonna love you. That's a currency in jail.
Dude, I would make so much money.
You smoke?
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get fucking cigarettes. You're gonna have like a
I would
bankroll.
smoke.
You're gonna
Well,
be selling
actually, I
cigarettes
take that back.
For sex or something.
I don't
like
smoke
that.
now, but if I was in jail, I'd smoke all the fucking time.
Oh,
yeah. What else are you gonna do? What else are you
gonna do?
I'm
ruining a set of lungs.
So you would probably. I mean, you'd probably be the drug dealer with cigarettes. You'd probably be anything you want.
Yeah, I'd drug deal cigarettes.
You would run shit in jail.
Yeah, I'd be like the tattoo kingpin in jail. I'd drug run cigarettes and tattoo motherfuckers all day, every day.
I think immediately what we'd have to do if you were gonna get put in jail, we got to go tattoos on the face. Got to do something.
I'd go all. Well, yeah, I'll say Aryan. I'll go Aryan and just like bald and just fucking tattoos everywhere.
No, you gotta keep the hair. You gotta keep the hair. It intimidates people.
I go buzz.
The hair does not intimidate
no,
people.
only it's because if you're gonna be this kingpin and you look that soft, people are gonna be like, God damn it, that dude's.
Yeah, dude, it's like
a silent killer.
Off the fucking movie.
You could never be a nice guy. You'd have to never smile again. By the way, your smile's way too nice guy smile.
But hey,
I can't frown. Like I just smile just to fucking smile. Like I'm that happy of a person.
Yeah, and then
I don't frown ever. If you see me frowning, that means something's really fucking wrong.
So A, you can't smile, or B, you just smile and you say, "What the fuck you looking at?" With a smile.
What the fuck you looking at?
There you go. Not with a Mexican accent.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
what I have to. I have to go with the Mexican accent for some reason.
You gotta say it straight.
Can't do that.
I can't say it straight. I sound like this. We watched that movie Zootopia, and this mob is like nothing but fucking giant water buffalo and rhinos and shit like that.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right, it's a movie, and the movie is basically they take animals and it's basically like a human form of an animal. They have a city and cars and everything like we have. Well, anyways, they also have mob bosses. Well, the mob boss for this mob with all these rhinos and wildebeests, these huge fucking burly mobsters, this little fucking hedgehog is the mob boss, and he's just sitting in this little chair, and he's just like straight off The Sopranos, just, yeah, you want to take this from me, okay? You want from me? I kill you. Throw him in the pit. And they had like a pit that this fucking dude's falling in. That's what I would be. I'd be that little hedgehog sitting on that chair, all cute and cuddly, but then I'm just like,
that was an above average Eastern European accent.
Hold on.
Fucking die.
So if that's one side of the story,
yeah,
you could be a kingpin in jail, or you could get fucked on the first day.
Come on, man.
Maybe.
Come on, man.
You either got to walk in playing the cards right, or you're gonna walk in, they're gonna play your cards.
I want it to be like off a movie where I come in and then like willy nilly, like straight out of my ass. I'm like, I know so and so, and then they're like, oh my god, DC's so and so's cousin. We can't fuck with him.
Again, you always assume they're Mexican. It's
I
kind of
don't
racist.
know why. I'm like, yeah, that is really racist.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Cultural misappropriation.
Sorry, that's the accent that I go to. Apologies.
Well, what's mine that I go to?
I don't really.
I don't know because every accent's very similar for you.
I guess we should hold on.
you're the-
We should probably introduce him.
Oh, it's Little Game James.
Little Game
From
James.
Under the Bleachers.
Jim Bro Watkins from Under the Bleachers is
Yeah.
on with us tonight.
I'm used to not having introductions because from Under the Bleachers we don't introduce
Well,
our people
obviously,
either.
you're a host. You
So.
should just go and
Wait,
you just get
who
on there
are
and run
we?
shit.
We don't ever introduce our guests, so I'm used to
Really
not being
don't?
introduced. Yeah, I hope we were trying to set a record not introducing me tonight.
We made it 6 minutes in. So
That's
You're
actually,
also-
that should be a record for from Under the Bleachers. I don't know about you guys.
I don't know.
You're also not used to being on camera. You are on camera.
Oh, I've been watching myself. Yeah, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Non-PC here,
sorry,
right?
Viewers.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Okay,
Sorry,
good.
viewers. We should
Yeah,
see if
we don't
anybody's.
censor anything.
Let's see if anybody's watching.
I don't know. I didn't tweet it
See if
out
they
or
can.
anything. Actually.
Yeah,
we didn't
we
do
didn't do.
anything
We
about
didn't do
going
any
live.
promotion this time.
I picked my nose.
Is it because I fucked it up
we
too
got
bad
one
last week?
one person watching.
Hey, is it
Actually, I
fucking
think
Samwise?
No, Sam's camping.
Oh, well,
Sam doesn't want to hang out with us, I guess.
I actually wish
Yeah.
I was camping. I
Yeah.
always wish. Like, there's like 98% of my life I wish I was camping. The other 2% I'm
Right?
doing deadlifts. So,
Dude, I
or I wish
the
I'm doing
truth.
deadlifts while camping.
I
It's-
drove-
Them legs.
I drove past Litchfield Lake today when I was at work, and I was like, man, I need to go boating.
yeah, but in
ASAP.
Litchfield,
Dude, Litchfield's dope. Why does everybody hate on Litchfield?
I don't know. It's just
That's what
fun.
Laura said today. She's like,
It's Litchfield.
Litchfield, fuck that.
I mean, it's
I
kind
don't
of
think I've
Let's go to
ever-
Carlisle. I'm like,
still.
Litchfield is way closer.
yeah.
I'm always actually surprised at how close Litchfield is. Like, you're driving to Springfield, you're like, damn, I'm already in Litchfield.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
I agree.
it's only,
Like, we could go to A&W right now. No one would know.
we could make it back in time.
I don't think I've ever driven through Litchfield. I don't think I've ever stopped there.
You never stop, but you just see it, and it's right there.
It's just the place.
Unless you really want a root beer.
There's like 4 different highway signs. They're like,
Well-
all right, you're on 55, and it's Litchfield this exit, Litchfield this exit, and then you see the cars, and then it's another Litchfield exit. And you're like, all right, well,
And then you see the fucking Holiday Inn.
yeah, and then you finally actually there's fucking Litchfield on the 4th one or whatever. But you got Staunton on the other side with the ice cream shop. It's pretty cool, by the way.
Pretty dope. No, but I always consider Litchfield because we always leave here to go to Chicago, right? And it's that monotonous drive up 55. And I consider okay, we're making some progress. Like the trip has officially started when you hit Litchfield. Because then it's Springfield, Bloomington, you're there.
It's still 3 hours.
I can't.
I wouldn't say
I
it's that
can't
quick.
cut it. I have to cut it right after Litchfield because my fiance lives in Mount Zion, so we take I guess it's the exit right before Auburn or whatever. It's like
Yeah.
62. It's right after Litchfield, and we take that on the side road through the. That way, I don't have to drive through Springfield and feel like I'm going to Chicago.
Right.
She lets me take the side road,
There you go.
and so I just get stuck just south of Decatur, which is always really fun
It
too.
smells great.
Yeah, it smells, her town smells fine, but other than that,
Do we have any current events today? I feel like we're just slacking.
We're just winging it here.
We are. We're
Slacking.
totally
As-
fucking winging it, man.
Actually, I did have an interesting. The U.S. revealed the official, quote unquote, I can do this on camera, air quotes, the official death toll from airstrikes outside of war zones now.
nice.
Apparently, if I can pull up the numbers here,
That sounds
they're
so
saying
bad.
that 64 to 116 civilians have been killed, along with 2,500 members of terrorist groups, which is
2,500.
right.
I thought it was 250.
This 2,500, 2,500 members of terrorist groups.
Why will
And 115 more civilians?
That's what they're saying, and those numbers are way lower than most groups.
I
are
don't know
saying,
how
so.
PC you guys are, but that's fucking awesome. we just killed 2,500 members of ISIS. Kudos. That's all I got.
Yeah.
And only
That's
a
all I
few casualties.
But
I
is there a way to mitigate it? By
no,
maybe
it's a war zone.
But can you mitigate it by different use of action?
Yeah, don't use drones.
Yes.
Would be like the first
Shooting-
step.
I think what we've come to
Have
in
people
warfare
there.
now is we're like, all right, well, we're not going to continue to lose our dudes, so let's just fly a fucking drone over and just shoot them. And hey, if you're in the way, sorry about you.
Right, but here's
I
a
like your thinking.
Now,
there.
here's
No,
another question. Do
see,
you
but
think
you can't
that,
look at it like that because let me tell you who.
but it's one way to look at it.
Who actually who gives the green light on drone strikes? Do you know who that is?
Lawyers.
Don't know.
Lawyers.
Lawyers.
Okay.
Lawyers they come up with a plan, and they
Which
say
kind of lawyers?
Right.
Explain. Please explain
Like-
for people that don't know that are listening.
like
And for me.
general attorneys. General attorneys, like, can they be prosecuted for international war crimes? People that are well versed in the war terminology,
So
like
they
what's
give-
legal, what's not legal.
How many casualties they can afford to do?
Well,
Type of deal. That's
is it-
something
yeah,
they can deal with.
Are we gonna see repercussions from this strike or not? And they evaluate it based on the risk of some prosecution or wrongdoing, and they say they give it the green light or they give it the red light, and they say no, this is too much of a risk. Yes, probably gonna kill some people, but we're not gonna see any backlash from it.
Well,
What did you say? 164 casualties? That was the
Yeah.
number? Versus 2,500 people that are
ISIS.
bad?
Yeah.
Bad people?
I mean, that's a pretty good ratio.
Well, the I mean the
That's a
argument
pretty
ag-
awful ratio.
Well, the
actually.
argument against
Really?
what you're saying though is you have 116, which was the high number.
What's the
64.
percentage of that?
Well, I don't
64, okay. So not
64 to
164.
116. But all I'm saying is then you have 116 families who lost their dad who was innocent.
Right.
And therefore now they're a new enemy who was innocent, but now we killed their dad.
Right.
And
So
they're
now they
pissed
hate
at
us.
You kill their dad, and you give his 4 sons a reason to join. To
That- I
support
mean,
a
that's the
cause.
argument against
Because
it.
now they don't have a home, they don't have a provider for their family. So what are they going to do? If the only thing in the area is ISIS, or an anti-ISIS group, which
Because it's a third world country. So,
So
what are
what
they
are your
doing
options?
besides farming
So
with
if we
their
could-
father? Or, oh, look, here's another father figure. Since mine's dead, I can follow this guy, and I'm going to go to this guy, and I'm going to hang out and shoot people that killed my father.
Right.
And
They
that-
definitely can't like go down to Walmart and get
No.
a job.
And so
But here's another thing. So those lawyers have to take into all the risks, and they think to themselves, okay, well, sending in this drone, all right, well, this is a good plan. It has this many risks, probably this many casualties, but we'll get this many bad guys. Now they have to look at it the same way with if we sent in troops. Now it's a bigger risk factor with sending in troops because they're like, well, of course we don't want to lose our guys, and it's bad if there's boots on the ground now.
you're right.
Is
You're
that
right.
is
but
that the highest number that we've ever killed? 2,501 drone strike, by the way. Is that the highest
well, that's not
number?
one drone
this
strike.
is-
That's over
no,
the
that's
course of a
collective.
year.
Yeah, that's in total.
Yeah,
In
this is
total.
collective.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
So-
I did.
Could you
And-
imagine?
I was
There-
talking
there's-
about last night's strike. that was 250 people that they killed.
Yeah,
last
there's a
night.
baseball stadium in
Jesus
Afghanistan, and they were all hanging out there watching a good old baseball game, and then we just dropped it right in the center. And there's a few civilians in that baseball game, but there's mostly ISIS. So we got them.
This article also says that these
That completely
numbers
changed my point, man.
these numbers have also came from strikes outside of conventional war zones.
Right.
So this is not
So, like,
like,
we-
a war zone that we're bombing. This is like a
So we're
church
not
or-
we're not at war with Syria, right?
I
But
thought
we're
you said-
performing drone strikes there.
I thought you were talking about the shot that they had last night.
No.
no.
That,
I-
that
What
killed,
happened?
Talking in
that
a
killed
year.
250 people.
What happened
That
last
was
night?
strictly at them, and I thought,
Right, and but to me that just shows me that it's possible to do it with no civilian
yes,
casualties.
okay, then I'm on you. I thought that there was 100. I thought
He's on you.
that's why you.
Are you on me or in me? Or?
I'm on you. I'm all over it.
I wanna
But
be on you.
that number jumped. That's why I said it was 250, and all of a sudden it jumped to 2,500. That's why I was shocked whenever I heard it. No, so that's over the course of the year. Ideally, you don't want to kill civilians.
Right, and like that could be at a ratio of whatever you
And
want
they
it to
just
be.
showed it. They just showed that they did it without killing. I'm pretty sure any civilians.
Yeah, but I mean,
A couple tour
And there
guys.
was
I don't fucking know what
250
But-
of them.
but
Were these different strikes?
But also, what you have
Oh,
to
one time, I killed a convoy of 250 ISIS members. Yeah, last night.
But
Oh, shit.
But here's another thing you have to consider too. Their intelligence, right? So they're shooting at like when these guys are inside buildings and cities, They caught those guys out, right? And they were able to isolate them and kill them without destroying any infrastructure. Most of the time, they're shooting at metadata, which is just, okay, this phone has known ties with ISIS, of an ISIS member, a particular guy.
And he's going to be
and
here.
And he's text messaging in this building right now.
It's worth a shot.
Okay, right. You're okay. But what about when they're attending a wedding and they kill 130 people, including the bride and groom?
Is that factored into that 116?
I would assume.
I would probably have to read
Why
the
is that? Why is that not in the numbers? And if they killed 130, why is that not? Is that not a drone that killed him? Why is there?
No,
only
it would have been a
116?
drone. But I'm not talking specific numbers. That's just a scenario, and that really happened.
It's a terrible time to shoot them.
Right, but that's in a non. Right, but they're
The
shooting
day
off
after
metadata.
when they're really happy and everything's going
So they're
great.
doing that. Okay, I know a wedding just sounds awful. It's a good story for me to parade around my point with. But take just the regular mundane strikes when they get metadata inside an apartment complex. This guy's on the bottom floor. They send a missile in there. It collapses the entire building. Everybody's a casualty.
Okay. Everybody,
Sorry about you, wrong place,
Everybody's
wrong
a
time.
casualty for the drone. How many people in an apartment complex? In a normal, I don't know how.
I don't know how they're built over there.
Middle Eastern. My assumption here is a
I don't think they have
16 room
apartment
complex.
complexes, do they?
16 apartment complex. You can fit probably 60, 70 people in a 16. Maybe we'll call it 100. We'll call it 100. So
It's a big apartment complex.
99 innocents.
But turn it on yourself. What if they were shooting at your apartment complex just because the guy in 4A has ties with ISIS?
The guy in 4A has ties with ISIS. Fucking blow us out, then, man. Save America.
I think you're bullshitting me.
Well, I feel like if you're from
Ideally, I
that
don't want to die, but
feel
no other country is going to be shooting at us, and we don't live in the Middle East. So let's be honest with
what
ourselves.
he's saying
Well,
is
you're
look
right.
at his shoes.
Does somebody have drone strikes on us right now? I don't think that's true.
No, but look at his
but
shoes.
what I'm trying to say is put in that situation that you cannot get
I
out
would
of.
gladly not
Yeah.
want somebody to shoot me, but I don't live in the Middle East.
Yeah, but
either.
it's not like people's fault that they're born in the Middle East. That's just where their mom and dad live, and he was born there.
Ideally,
Yeah.
you wouldn't take them out in the bottom row either. You want them, they don't do that.
They have.
They've done it like once or twice if it's like the number 3 guy in ISIS, maybe do it.
I don't
See,
know.
I
man.
still
don't
don't. I
know.
still don't think I pulled the trigger, but that's not my call. So thank
See,
God it's not.
my take on it is if you're living in an apartment complex and you know there's a guy that lives there
What if
that's
you
in
don't know,
ISIS,
though?
come on, you gotta fucking know. You're from there. You know when a drug dealer moves into your apartment complex because you
fair
smell
point.
the fucking
Fair
weed,
point.
and there's people in and out every goddamn day. So I'm guessing a guy that brings in a shit ton of AK-47s is definitely part of ISIS.
Yeah, I had a couple. I had a couple buddies that lived across the street from me, and they were buddies, and then they moved in across the street. I went over there a few times, realized they were dealing drugs. I'm like, all right, probably not going to go back and visit them. Within probably 2 weeks, they got busted for 3 Class X felonies for dealing drugs across with a church right across the fucking road.
Well,
I'm
that-
like, thank
well,
God
that's
I
fucking
didn't. Thank God I
stupid.
didn't knock on their door on Friday because the
Well-
cops were there. But
Well, first off, why would you sell next to a church?
there's two apartment complexes in front of them, but it's still 1,000 feet away. So
Oh,
that's
they
what caught
got 'em.
They caught him. They should have measured
They
that shit
shouldn't- yeah,
out.
they shouldn't. They were probably like, "Yeah, we're far enough away.
The cops went out after they busted him. They're like, we might be able to get. Let's measure the shit out. Oh, yep, 999. We got him. We got him on that
Nailed it.
1,000 feet rule.
I don't know. I think it'd be ideal if we still fought by swords, and that's like for real because that was like personal. Like I'm gonna meet you in a battlefield, and we're going to kill each other. Like technology is great. It's been awesome. You know, I can kill you from a mile away with a sniper rifle. That's awesome. But also it just leads to more casualties. You know, if you meet
Yeah.
someone, I've got a horse, you've got a horse, we've both got swords. Let's figure this shit out. Best man win. Then you know we're both guilty. And it's just
Right.
there's a lot of collateral.
I feel like
damage.
there was a lot more honor in that too, because it was always man on man in a way. You know, I mean, you could potentially spray a gun and just auto fire and spray a whole crowd of insurgents or something like that. You know, and you just take one out. But to have the skill and the mindset to take on another person with almost the same weaponry as you and to overcome them. That's fucking insane, you know, and nothing, and not to take away from any of our armed forces or anything like that. Like I can't fucking say you're not badasses, But I'm just saying, I think there's something about it that's completely different.
It'd be nice to live in a world like that, but
It
we don't.
sure
we don't.
as hell would
so
be.
Let's be honest.
But
with
we don't.
ourselves.
People would also die from syphilis a lot more.
Yeah.
So we
But-
pretty
but
much
it-
beat that. So that's good.
Well,
We
the
got
thing about that
vaccines.
though is you don't have people like, oh, I had my knife out and I left it out, and then my son picked it up, and oh, oops, he stabbed himself on accident. Sorry about that. That's the big problem you have with guns.
No,
And-
you just
and
have fucking people buying cars at car dealerships and shooting
And-
themselves in the chest. AJ, what is this expression on your face?
Well, he's mad because it was like totally against owning guns, but
I'm
Do you
just
really want to go down this road?
no, I don't. But you got me all excited for Greg, and I was going to argue against guns when I am pro guns. So then I have all this shit in my head. It's all your fault, AJ.
You make such valid points.
I do, but I don't.
Nah.
Speaking of hand-to-hand combat, though, pretty big weekend coming up in the UFC world.
The fucking Hulk versus the knockout artist.
Yeah, he's probably clean. Brock Lesnar, probably
Yeah.
not on steroids, right?
Oh, Brock Lesnar is for sure like having sex with a horse.
It's fucking. You got Joe
Jim, bro,
Rogan.
you should pull up a picture.
Joe-
I haven't seen him
You
recently.
haven't seen Brock Lesnar? He looks the same as 2011.
Oh,
which is
really?
Which is huge.
Highly suspect.
Huge.
I mean, you got.
Well, hold on. I'm not
Which picture?
in the lingo. So was he popped back then for steroids?
No, he's never
He's
been
in the
caught.
WWE.
Well, I
they
know.
take that shit like candy.
Right.
He did have.
I don't
stomach
believe- I don't
issue
believe
that's
he's ever been caught,
highly
I should say.
related to steroids, though.
Huh.
But I feel like, Joe Rogan is popular for like drinking kale shakes in the morning. I'm pretty sure Brock Lesnar just drinks steroid shakes. But that's
But I mean,
fine,
he's
man. It's
always
Brock
been
Lesnar.
that
Let's do
big,
it.
though.
My question is,
Yeah, he's always been on steroids.
Did
It's
he
fine.
get small and get bigger?
No.
Like
I don't
whenever
know.
he was the first
He
in
had
the
to have gotten
UFC,
bigger going to the
like, did he get
WWE?
small in the UFC and then all of a sudden go back to the WWE and get bigger again?
They didn't test back then.
He's never. I don't know.
That's what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
know.
They didn't. The UFC didn't test like they do now when he was fighting.
Okay.
My only
So
thing
he for
was it-
sure
what-
could have
what-
been on some shit.
What was that? 2012, 2013. That he quit
2011.
Yeah, like
2011? It was
2011.
that far back.
Yeah.
2011. Yeah, it's
So
been
they were
5
not.
years.
They were. There was no strict testing. Like
How did they not? Is my first question. But
they
that's-
just implemented.
That's another topic.
They just implemented USADA.
Okay, that's another whole topic of how they didn't test MMA fighting. Doesn't test for steroids.
They were fighting in casinos.
in 2011. No, they were not.
I mean,
No, not in
but that's where
2011.
they had just come. They were fresh out the casinos.
So they didn't
Yeah.
have it. Okay.
I mean,
We're
they.
good.
Around that time period.
I mean, what they're doing now, they just sold it. It's going to be a legitimate sport, and that's what they're trying to do with it. They're going to make it the caliber of the NFL.
Is Joe,
the
by the way,
NBA.
Joe Rogan said he would not stay if
he's
they
he's
sold
going to leave. I think
Yeah.
he's going to leave.
Yeah.
unless they make him Dana White spot.
Do you think it's
No,
because
Dana,
it becomes?
he doesn't want to do that.
No.
But
Not
and
a
Dana
promoter.
White's not staying.
How much
either.
did he sell it for?
They sold it for $4.2 billion.
So who wants to watch? Who wants to watch if Dana
Bubba
White and
Billy.
Joe
Which is
Rogan
actually
aren't
like
there?
$7 billion less than they're worth, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, think he
so
probably only gets about $2 billion of that.
no
after
Joe Rogan
taxes.
and no Dana White.
No,
So-
they're going to start running.
You're
this
gonna
like
get rid of the best bald guys ever. Why?
no, what's going to happen? And this is what needs to happen, really, because everything that I've heard, in my opinion, is Dana White's taking the UFC as far as he can. Right? He's a boxing promoter back in the day. He owned some gyms, and he took this dream and he moved it forward. But
He did a fucking hell of a job.
he did,
by the
yeah,
way.
100%. You can't argue with that. And he had good backers with the Zuffa brothers, and they made this what it is. And the Zuffa brothers aren't in the fight game. Dana White's in the fight game, but the Zuffa brothers aren't.
So why couldn't they sell Dana White too? You can sell a guy.
He's gonna stay on for a while.
Yeah.
But then they're gonna he's
Until the transition's over.
Until the transition's over. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to legitimize the sport.
You got a guy in mind that can take over for Dana White.
Somebody that's ran a NFL team or ran a NBA team that knows how to conduct the UFC in a manner that is up to the standard of the NFL, NHL, MLB.
Do you have a name in mind?
I don't.
Jake?
I sure don't.
Brad?
Fuck, man, I don't follow sports.
Someone
There's
who's
got-
someone
there's
who's on
gotta
the
be-
level of a Roger Goodell or Adam
There's-
Silver.
there's
or
somebody out
some
there.
sort of
So you want
commissioner
some,
type.
you want some jackass to run this. I mean, Dana
Right,
White is a jackass, but at the same time, he's real. You want somebody to take
He
over
is, but
that's
he-
a fucking joke. Is what
they
you
don't-
want somebody
they're-
that's got money that's a joke.
See,
is
but
what you want
it's
to take
what's
over.
holding
It
UFC
basically
back.
turns into a corporation.
What is holding UFC back? I don't.
What holds the UFC back is one, that shitty ass Reebok deal that could have been negotiated way better.
I,
You could have sold to somebody even
Completely
more
fine, but-
legitimate. Okay.
for one, Reebok sucks. Yeah, we can admit that.
Okay. But
Nobody
I mean,
wants to
and-
wear.
and
If
go
it was
forward.
Nike, they probably wouldn't be complaining that much.
Here's the biggest flaw: they won't add weight classes, so you're forcing guys up and down, especially
or
with the
or
IV
women,
ban.
by the way, because what say her name?
Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
Jędrzejczyk.
She wants 125.
Ask me to spell
Exactly.
it though. It's tough.
So they need to up the classes, and two, I lost my train of thought.
What are we doing with the UFC, man? What are we doing?
But the way they structure their fights, not only the classes but the way they structure the fights, it's just whatever they decide will sell pay-per-views. There's no legitimate way to go up through the rankings.
Playoff
you
team,
could
like a playoff
you
team,
could dude, you could run through 6 guys and still not get a title shot. You know what I mean? Or that you win 2 and then they throw you to the wolves like shit. Sage Northcutt. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, you could run up like
Can-
6
can-
guys,
can
and
we-
nobody would notice you if you're Mr. Nice Guy, play clean cut.
Right, and it's
How
not
about
when
a-
they
how
play.
about a-
But then when it's Conor McGregor, they're just like, look how flamboyant he is. He's a character. The TV wants a character for you to look
How
at.
about a big name like Michael Bisping that should have never deserved, but he subbed in. He was
Right.
violent enough to
Did you
sub
see
in
his
and
last
won.
fight? That
And
dude
he won.
fucking
He won. He
murdered.
won the fucking title.
Right.
So was he deserving of that fight?
100%. He should have had it. He should have had a title shot way before.
He's
That's
gotten his
what I'm
ass
saying.
kicked way too many
No,
times.
listen, no. He's been
Way too many
he's been a
times.
10-year veteran
Yeah.
and never got a title shot. Are you kidding me?
He can sub in, but if he would have never got it if there wasn't a sub in.
Exactly, because the structure is predicated on favorites,
So-
not an actual structure.
Makes both of our points.
It should be. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. They need to.
He would have never got a
legitimize it.
shot if it was actual structure.
Well, it makes my
But
point of
good
of-
for
No,
him.
he would have gotten a shot when it was actual.
He was not
structure.
going to get there again. Absolutely
He
not.
beat Dan Henderson.
For the fucking old guys fought for the 4th time.
That was a while back though.
Cool, man. Dan Henderson's like 42.
Dude, he
was-
kind of
he
is
was-
out of
now-
the game.
He was fun in 2008. Yeah, I love Dan Henderson. He's fucking old as tits.
But
man.
what I'm saying,
Glad Bisping
but what I'm
finally
saying
beat
is
him.
they need to legitimize the sport, and they need somebody to carry them through that legitimization. And Dana White's not the guy for that.
He doesn't want to be the guy, I guess.
They need a TV
If he- if
character.
he's
Well, and
just-
it's also like how long was
You would think, but Joe Rogan understands. Am I right? You're a big Joe
Joe
Rogan
just
guy.
said,
Yeah,
if
but-
I can't work for my friends, I'm not working for them.
So but
He doesn't need the job.
Yeah, he doesn't need. It's
does
not
he
like,
want the job?
It's not like Joe Rogan.
No.
He
Joe
actually
Rogan
really doesn't.
does it
He really-
because he
actually
likes
really
it.
doesn't. If you listen to his podcast, he would rather just do stand up comedy and
Yeah, he's like,
it's disappointing.
because
well,
he's,
he's
one of the
fucking
best.
50 years old, man. Like you can't have 3 full-time jobs. Like
No,
being a UFC announcer, being a stand-up comedian, and he's a full-time podcaster. Like
Yeah,
you can't just have
yeah.
3 full-time jobs at 50.
He's done-
raising 2 young
Yeah.
children. Like
Yeah.
I've
He's
heard him
trying
on the
to-
I totally
podcast
get
where he
it.
says, I do 2 podcasts a day. That's 2 3-hour sessions with people where you just sit and talk to people for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Like, that's a big part of your day.
I mean, he's
About
great.
6
I
hours
don't-
of your day.
But I'm not mad at him leaving the UFC because I'll get my dose of Joe Rogan on his
You can
podcast.
listen to him, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that.
I guarantee he'll still do fight companions.
Fight
100.
companions of the
That's what he's
future.
saying.
Yeah.
That's what he was saying. He was
Okay.
like, I may just quit the UFC altogether and just do the podcast while it's going.
Yeah.
Have you heard these,
It's
Jimmy?
perfectly fine.
Have you heard those?
I've listened to him, but I don't listen to him
Oh my god!
religiously. By
you know
any
what's
means.
funny is they get more views than isn't it
actual
like than the
podcast?
actual pay per view numbers.
He's. I mean, if you just click on the iTunes podcast, I mean, he's like number 3
yeah.
right there, just chilling.
But what's
Just
crazy
chilling.
is his podcast gets more downloads than there were pay per views for the fight.
That's crazy.
So he does okay with that.
So he has his own platform to announce on his own terms.
Okay.
Right.
Fair enough.
So he's like,
Absolutely.
so if I'm not desk side, he's even said this, dude. This is the funniest part. He's like, sitting cage side sucks. I'd rather watch it on TV. It's way better views.
And that's if that's what he wants. That's what I just personally would like to have him in charge of it because I think he would run it the best
I think that
of anybody.
I think that whoever bought this and is actually going to run it, like if they're going to run it under
Should
Fox,
go with him first.
if they're going to run it under Fox, they would be happy to have him.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a doubt about it, but it's his personal decision. Say, I don't want to work for anybody but Dana.
So don't hate, like I'm not trying to get hate on by. I just think Joe Rogan would be the best candidate for the job.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure he doesn't want it, like as you
Dude,
guys have said, but I think he's the best.
Who
candidate.
wouldn't miss? Oh, every time somebody gets knocked out.
And while we're on that topic, who would replace Joe Rogan if he leaves? Who does anybody have a name that can come in there and give Mike Tyson?
It'd probably be Brian Stan.
Yeah, Brian
Mike
Stan
Tyson?
or Lyoto Machida.
Yeah. Well,
I was hoping with
I
Mike
mean, there are
Tyson.
people.
There's people that could do it. Brennan Schaub.
Well,
I like
Yeah.
Brendan.
Brendan's got kind of a lisp too, though.
But
So-
Brennan
Brennan
Schaub
does-
could do it.
Oh, he could definitely do it.
How good does
Does he have the knowledge of Joe Rogan, though?
Oh, dude, yes, 100%.
I like Brendan Schaub, man. I watched him in Tough. That was my favorite episode or season of Tough. Was the heavyweight. It was fucking awesome, man.
with Kimbo Slice.
Absolutely, man. It was fun. Matt Mitrione, who still doesn't know where the fuck
Dude,
he
it's
is.
still weird.
But he
Kimbo's
didn't.
gone.
He didn't know where he was then, and he still doesn't know. You talk about CTE. Matt Mitrione will be your predominant guy in about 10 years. I love the guy, but I'm just telling you.
Well, yeah, he's got the football background
He's got-
too. He was a
yeah, he
football
played in
player.
the NFL for a long time. Played NFL or college football. He will be a guy you're gonna want to take a brain from.
It's not good. It's not good.
I'm just saying.
Dude, this next week, because I'm gonna say next week, not just next weekend, because there's 3 nights of fights,
Oh shit.
dude. Well, first of all, I mean,
Is
Joanna.
UFC 200's next Saturday?
Yeah, it's July 9th.
Fuck me, man. I'm always at a fucking wedding whenever this shit pops off.
Hey, I'm at a float trip, so I'm gonna miss it too.
Don't worry, I'm gonna watch.
Well, at
the
least
whole
I have a
thing.
chance at a TV, unlike you. You
Yeah,
have no shot.
I'm out in the boonies. I won't get it till Sunday night.
Do our viewers know what a float trip is, by the way? Because nobody from Missouri and Illinois and maybe Iowa
Yeah,
know what a float trip is.
I don't know if we have that many people listening that far away, but I hope we do. But a float trip is where you go to a small river, one that's it's just a little bit bigger than a creek, so it's like it's not very
get
not very
stuck- you
deep
get
at all.
stuck a lot.
Yeah, you get stuck on branches and logs and fucking gravel because it's so low that you'll get to the bottom of the fucking creek, and you get hella drunk and party. And you stop at little beaches.
I don't think we have
along
to
the way.
describe this.
No,
I think
no.
everybody that listens to this
No,
knows.
because people in Texas they call floating. They all have their personal raft. They're a mind blown that we carry.
Yeah,
we
we
don't
have-
get on a 10-person raft and all float together.
Right.
They freak out. People in Texas have the same fucking rivers
Hey.
and float up by
Hey, it
With
themselves.
all the
costs
fucking
more.
floods down there, they better get it together.
they fucking do that
Get
every
on our
day. Yeah.
get on our level, motherfuckers.
Which, by the way, last weekend of August, I'm going on a float trip. If anybody wants to come, y'all.
I'm down.
Where at?
It's in Steelville, Missouri,
Hell yeah.
the
Are you
float
going to-
capital of Missouri.
are you going to
Fucking
Bass
good time
River?
going
or-
to
No.
Huzzah. He's going to Huzzah
No,
Valley
no.
Resort.
No, we're going to a place you guys have never heard of. We went earlier this summer. It's called Garrison's River Resort. It's
It's not Bass River.
I have-
It's not Huzzah.
I have
You
just
never heard of
just
that.
listen to me. It's $45 for 2 people to float and camp for 2 nights.
Oh, well, he's
So-
only taking 2 people. That's why he's not going down
You
there.
hey, float both days?
no, you just float. You just float on Saturday.
I'm spending
Gotcha.
camp
65
Friday,
on my
float
float.
Saturday.
I'm impressed, but at the same time, you can't like the big places want the big people. 2 people, they're like, yeah, we're good. We're good.
Yeah,
we
I'm
don't have
spending
enough room.
60
Yeah, but
5 on my
if
float.
you get 8 groups of 2 people, then you've got 16 people. Like you, you don't have to do one big group. You can divide it into smaller.
So
groups.
you do have that many people with 2 people?
right now I think we're rocking with.
So
like
you're gonna
6
be like
people.
Texas. You're floating on 2-person rafts.
You actually got to have a canoe. It's actually a canoe.
That is
Canoe
where
trip.
you lost me because I don't float with canoes.
No.
Yeah, but
can't do-
$45.
I've done it.
Canoes,
It's a
fuck
bitch.
that. You can't
Well,
do canoes.
It's a bitch, dude.
Well,
Especially when you're
okay, I'll
that
be
drunk.
there.
It's hard to.
All right,
fucking-
wait, hold
It'll be
on.
my
You,
second
I
one
can
of the
re-
year. So
hold
I'll be
on.
there.
We can redeem it. Do they have a rope swing?
I didn't see one.
Fuck!
Dude, we can take a rope. We can build one.
He's still on the Huzzah River or the Huzzah Creek, whatever you want to
You're
call it.
right down the road from all the.
He's just at the
campsites.
Garrison Resort. I mean, he's
Right,
on the
if we
same
want-
fucking river. He's just canoeing instead of
Right.
fucking
There's a
floating.
part of the river where they had made a ledge, and it was basically like pallets that they just screwed into this fucking log,
Crazy.
and you climb up it, and you could jump off it. But the problem was you're only jumping into about 4 foot.
Yeah, they
so you
freaked me out.
hit the sand bottom.
Hey,
but
funny-
I did front flips and all kinds of shit off that.
Dude,
I didn't give a
Funny
fuck.
story. Our buddy, you know,
Mom,
him.
don't listen to that. You're gonna get
Our
scared.
buddy Ben has a hell of a story. He's from Chicago, so he's never been a floating before, and so his first float trip, about a quarter mile in, he decides to jump off the raft and dive in, and fucking smokes his head on a rock, and splits him open about 18 stitches.
Holy
Fuck.
So I mean, it's a really good cut, and so they float down. They wrap a T-shirt around it. He floats for about another mile, because there ain't no doctor gonna save you there. So they tie it. It's still fucking bleeding through the T-shirt. Finally, somebody that floats by him's an EMT or whatever, and they're like, "You need to stop. It's open that bad." And they go to the nearest hospital. First float trip, he made it.
What-
Was that
not
also
even
his
a-
last float trip? Is that
No, he's been on multiple after
Yeah,
that.
boy.
I did-
try to buy him a personal helmet the last one we went on, and he refused to wear.
I went down to Huzaw Valley for the bull float, and for sure don't drink into the mic. And then no, but you know those
Straw action,
you know
straw
those you know those ledges. I think it's like, I don't know, probably 3 miles in, and it's just huge pools. And
Yep.
I mean, it's deep as
I know
fuck,
where you're at.
but it's all black rock, and you climb up the backside.
I'm 2 bull float trips in. I know where you're at. Yeah.
And well, I backflipped off that one, and when I came up face to face with a fucking snake. Dude,
Peed?
I pissed my motherfucking pants. all I reacted to, I screamed like a little girl, dude, and just splashed water at it.
Fuck that.
Dude,
I probably
freaked
would have
me
done the same
fuck
thing.
out. I didn't know what to do. I was like, this thing's gonna bite me in the face.
Yeah, fuck him.
Can't
Was
fuck
he-
up the
was he-
moneymaker.
Was he hissing?
Yeah.
You know?
I'm talking from me to you away. I'm
And-
like, oh.
And in Missouri, we
So
have
is the
water
mo-
moccasins, and that shit don't feel good. That's poisonous.
Water moccasin, cottonmouth is another
Yeah.
name if you don't know them,
dude.
but they're vicious and they're
Fuck.
poisonous. by
They
the
are.
way.
They're mean,
Dude, he was pissed.
And they don't like they don't care about, like, copperheads are a little bit better.
Copperheads are skittish. Those cottonmouths, right in your face.
They like confrontation. They want to fight you. They're like that drunk guy at the bar
Which
that
one?
thinks he can knock
Isn't-
anybody out.
Isn't a cottonmouth black? Aren't they a big black snake?
Nope, that's not.
No.
That's just a black snake. Or a
No,
king,
I mean,
or a
no,
king
I mean,
snake.
is that how they look?
no,
No,
it's
they're-
brown. They got a pattern on it. I don't remember what
It's
it is.
not. It's kind of the same as a copperhead, but it's a little bit different.
Okay.
Yeah,
and
they're-
it's cotton because you can tell if they hiss at you, you're in trouble anyway. But it looks like white.
Yeah.
Their
Right,
fangs look white
right.
because it looks like cotton.
Right,
That's why
that's
they call
why
it
they call it
cotton.
that.
Cotton mouse. That's how they got that nickname.
And I got face to face with one. And then my buddy jumped in and turns around, pulls up this rock, and throws it at it. Pins that motherfucker down.
Did he come back out?
No, he pinned because it
the
had
rock
when I
pinned it down.
splashed
Oh,
it,
okay.
it retreated back into its little base on the rocks right there. But he threw a rock, pinned him down. I was like, let's get the fuck out of here.
We got to roll.
This thing's mad. Can't wait for the next draft that pulls up there.
Yeah.
Right.
Thing's gonna be pissed.
They're gonna be pissed.
Yeah, you just ruined that whole spot.
Yeah, no.
Speaking of nature and shit, I have one thing that I wrote down for notes. Did you guys seen about that 15-year-old student that discovered ancient Mayan cities using the constellations?
I've not heard one
No.
bit about that, so please fill us in.
All right, so William Gadori, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but sorry, bro. His theory is that constellations match the location of ancient cities in Mexico around the Mayan cities. So basically, he knew that there was 2 cities on 2 points of Orion's belt, that triangle constellation, and they followed the third one because they didn't know of a known city on the third one. So they followed it deep into the jungle, and they found what was a raised part of the jungle that looked like a square shape. Like it had to have been cut by man. Like it wasn't organic to be that fucking square. So
Did you get this
they-
off the exploration on Travel Channel?
No.
Because I was stuck in a hotel
what do you-
watching.
I want to see how do you spell that shit.
What?
How do you spell Kadori? Damn it.
Kadori?
Huh?
His last name.
William Gadory.
Gadory. All right. How do you spell
Gadoury.
All right.
Hey, you guys.
Yeah.
Side note, I got really drunk one night and forgot I ordered this, and it showed up 4 weeks later.
Hold on, what is that?
Y or I, you said?
Oh, that's pretty dope.
But here's my
Is it a
dilemma.
window decal?
I ordered it drunk, thinking that I would hang this on the wall.
Looks
It
brilliant.
looks like a
But-
window decal.
The fucking
Here, give it to
walls
me.
are textured.
I can
so
show.
I think I'm gonna put it on the table.
See if I can get this.
No, put it. Oh, the table or a
Can I
canvas?
see it? Is it too light? You guys are darker. You need to hold it this way for this
Talking
camera.
about.
You guys are darker there. You might
Yeah,
be able to
hold
see it
that
better.
way.
Yeah, there it is. You can see it there.
That's pretty dope.
We're too light here. This camera's too light. You guys are in
Yeah.
a darker setting.
But it's a 50 caliber. I don't know why I bought
Dude,
it, but I did.
I love all those people that are bagging on that reporter that's like, oh my God, I had PTSD from shooting an AR-15. The sulfur from the rounds passing past my head.
Here's what I have to say about that.
Did you see the video of the
Here's what I
guy?
say. Here what I-
Hold on. Did you see the video of the guy that had a 50 caliber sniper rifle? And he's like, "You got PTSD from an AR-15?" Toom, 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 just shoots this fucking thing like shoulder fire. And he's like, "Come on, quit being a little bitch."
Hey, if we had to hunt for our own food, that guy would have never made it.
That guy would get eaten first.
Yeah, he would have been eaten first.
That's why there's
Wouldn't have
sheep.
made it.
There's sheepdog and there's wolves.
It's too easy to get food, guys.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah,
We're just gonna bring that up
It's
again.
sad.
It's the most constant theme of my life. I feel like I just see people every day, and I'm like, fucking if it wasn't for Shop and Save,
I saw
like, you
a
would
vid-
not be here.
I saw a video of a lady on one of those carts. You know what I mean? In Walmart, where you drive
power
around with
carts?
the basket on front.
Yeah, you mean the people who are too morbidly obese to walk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like walking upright, like the thing that made humans like the king of the world. That
Right.
thing where they take it away.
They can't
and
do it
sit and
anymore.
Yeah, they can't do it anymore. Okay, go on.
Because
they really like donuts?
She was so wide. Okay, it was a single person door, but it was an automatic door.
Uh-huh.
She tried to go out the automatic door, and them hips were too big for her to exit. So she's sitting there doing a burnout.
It's sad, man. It really is sad.
Dude, I saw a guy riding one of those down 111 on the side of the fucking road, and I was like traffic had to stop for him, like the entrances to businesses, like he was in the way and shit like that. I was taking my son over to my mom's house so she could watch him. I was just like, I cannot believe what I'm seeing right now. And that's horrible to laugh at a person like that. But come on. When you cannot walk and you have to ride around on a scooter,
For sure, figure it out.
for sure figure it out. And that's another problem too, is think about it. So if you think about it, those people would not last if we had to find food.
No.
They wouldn't be alive. The people that were like that when we had to find our own food
We're the
were
only
kings.
species that saves its weak.
They're called sheep.
Yeah.
Brad. They're called
Yeah, that
sheep.
saves its fucking weak, and they can't defend themselves.
No, but it's awesome that we can do that. But that's why we get most of the bullshit
Well,
that we get.
if you think about it,
It's a
that's
pretty
their
serious
drug.
strain on the medical system, and just take care of your diabetes. You just stop
Well-
eating cheeseburgers, man. Eat
Well-
some more kale. I'm telling you.
But
It's
think
not
about
that
it. Those
hard.
people, their drug is food. Those people that cannot walk, can physically not walk and have a hard time getting out of bed because they're obese, and that is their reason. Like, you don't have any other ailment, but because you like food. That's a drug. That is your drug of choice. It's the same way that people choose crack and get super fucking skinny because they won't eat, because that's their drug of choice is the crack.
All right.
Then other
There's-
people choose fucking food, and they can't
And
fucking
that,
walk.
that's what clearly goes on here, is because crack will make you want to go get crack. I'm pretty sure a Philly cheesesteak, I want one, but it's not going to drive me. My body's
No.
not going
Hey
to
now,
make
hey
me
now.
go get a
But-
Philly
but that's
You
cheesesteak.
the
obviously
reason-
haven't driven past a McDonald's and then thought about a McGriddle.
Like, I
'Cause,
think about it,
dude,
but I don't
feel like
fucking
my
pull in
truck
there.
just goes in there on its own. I
But
don't know
hold on,
how.
but hold on. That's the reason why you're not 300 pounds right now. Those people look at McDonald's and
because
look at
it-
fast food like that as crack.
It's because they. Okay, I'm not going to go there.
All right, I got a better argument.
It's because they fucking lost control of themselves.
Hey,
Well, the same way as somebody that's on crack lost control of themselves.
But that actually has an effect on you. You don't need
Hey, I've got an
a
argument.
McDouble.
Hold on.
But they
You
think
need
they
crack.
do,
Your-
though.
your body- your
They
body-
think they do.
Hey, can I back up your argument? Can I back up your argument?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, fat people, you know, the ones that are obese because they overeat, right?
Yeah.
And there's other issues to where you could be overweight, but the ones that eat themselves to death, right? Those people, food is their only satisfaction in life, right? So that's the only time they're happy is when
It's
they're
comfort.
eating.
That's
right,
what
it's
it is.
comfort.
They don't have sex, they don't have drugs,
So
they just
nobody
have
wants to
food.
fuck them. They may or may not have a job, but probably not one they like. And not a lot is great in life. But what is great in life? What is great? I love eating pizza.
A big
You know,
old
I love
fucking-
eating a
big old
cheeseburger.
pint of ice cream. Yeah, sure. Everybody fucking
So
wants it.
that's what they indulge in because there's nothing else in their life that is productive, that is
But it's
doing
something
well.
you can control, and that's
No,
what I'm
you
trying
don't
to
have-
say.
you don't have
and,
to-
And these people that, you're right. It's something that you can control. An eating disorder is something. Now,
But an eating disorder usually goes the other way.
other way. Now that's where I get tentative. It's the overeating disorder that I have a problem with.
But you could apply the principles to both sides.
Apply it.
That's what I'm trying to say.
somebody
is
apply.
that
Somebody apply
they're
it.
similar.
Somebody apply it to the other side then for me.
So you would look at it from a standpoint of
Mental instability. So it's a mental issue, in my opinion. It's not.
correct.
It's not an addiction.
But it could turn into an addiction.
It's-
Cheeseburgers can
Hey,
be addictive.
I think anything can be habit
not.
forming, and
Maybe not to
anything
you.
can
Maybe
turn
not
into
to
an,
you, though.
an addiction.
But isn't it subjective?
In somebody's mind, but there's a body factor that comes into drugs. Like you're addicted to them, and you can't get yourselves off of them.
But okay, but where are you drawing the line at addiction? Because if you're addicted to that dopamine dump that you get when you bite into a bacon
Because
cheeseburger,
That's the same
there's
thing.
it's going to
It's
be
the
the
same
same
principle.
reaction in the
there's
brain,
there's
right?
a fact that drugs that meth has an addiction into your body.
an
All right,
addictive
all right. I
tendency,
think
right.
what you're trying to say is yes. No matter what we say right now, drugs are 10 times more addictive than food. But what we are
there may
saying,
be a tendency, like he said,
right,
a tendency.
What we're
That's fine,
saying
that's
is that
fine.
certain people,
but a tendency
they
you
have
can get
that-
yourself off of.
But
by
here's
the way.
here's where
But
we're,
those
here's
people
where we're
choose
running into
not
the
to.
misconception.
Those people choose not
choose.
to.
Choose. They
But
But
you
choose
chose
not
to smoke crack in
Yeah.
the first place.
You
Yeah.
chose, but you can't get yourself off it because it's fucking physically addictive.
It's physically addictive.
There's nothing that you can
These
get.
are
To
your-
these
okay,
people,
listen.
the food is physically addictive. That's what
But
we're
okay,
trying to say.
okay, that's fair enough.
In,
I
their,
like that
in, their,
Okay.
in their mind,
But like
In their mind.
what I asked before, where do we draw the line at addiction? Okay, so you're a line of addiction. If you're addicted chemically because of the things that you are smoking and your body override your nervous system and your
Which-
reward systems and say crack is the only reward.
They're telling you that
right,
you have to
they're
get
telling
more.
that. Okay,
Yeah.
but there's also mental addiction. So how are you defining addiction? So there's more than
I
one
just said
definition
a
of
physical addiction.
so you may have a physical addiction to crack, but you have a mental addiction to food.
That's something that you can overcome.
But you can overcome crack.
You
People
can't,
do it every
you
day.
can with help. Or with,
But
but
people,
the
people have done
people-
it on their own before.
But if
that's
you watch
true.
the
Right,
shows
man,
of
there's
the
people that have
obese
gotten-
people that can't move, they have to get help from other people because they can't do it on their own.
And-
It's almost
what I
what
said.
we're trying to say is it's almost the same.
Yeah, it's the
because
same.
It's
those
the
people
same
that-
any way you cut it because
Yeah.
whether it's a mental addiction or an actual physical addiction,
Everything
you're in
starts
that
mental.
place. And to get yourself out of that place, if you cannot do it on your own, because there's people that have gotten skinny on their own because of the choices they chose to eat kale instead of a cheeseburger. But there's also the person that said, okay, I'm choosing to put down the crack and I'm going to a rehab or I'm just getting myself out of this situation. So whether the addiction is chemical or whether it's mental, I think it falls upon the same lines, right?
I mean,
You could apply it to both sides.
Yeah, you can apply it. You can apply it to both sides. Absolutely.
No matter what, everybody mentally made that choice to either continue to eat those cheeseburgers or
continue to smoke that
continue
crack.
to smoke that crack.
Because so
You're right,
regardless,
you're right.
addiction is addiction any way you want to cut it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
And-
one is just as bad as the other if you think about it. You're either going to end up on the floor, so cracked out that your body can't function because it's just been functioning for so long, or you're gonna be the fucking
One's gonna
fat
kill you
guy that-
faster though. One's gonna kill you
Well,
a lot
yeah,
faster.
100%.
crack's gonna kill you 10
So-
times faster,
so, I
but
mean-
sitting there eating yourself to death is gonna take 10 times longer.
It's gonna take 20
yeah.
years, and you're gonna eat yourself. to death.
Right.
Versus
No, that's
fucking 20
very-
weeks.
yeah, that's
get
very true.
Or fucking
Correct.
20 hours if you're on heroin.
But
Right.
But I still think the same rules apply to how you should approach and treat those people.
It's a completely different topic though, comparing drugs and food.
The
I
only,
will-
the
I
only
will-
thing different is the illegal aspect of it.
Yeah.
Because they're facing jail time, which is going to put them in a repetitive cycle to do drugs because they're depressed, because they can't get a job, because they've been prosecuted.
For doing drugs.
doing
so then they
drugs.
want to do more
That was
drugs
an
to feel
addiction.
happy
There's
about
plenty of
being
people
depressed.
that are felons that can get jobs, by the way.
100%, I agree. But if you're in the system and that's all you know, and yeah, you can argue the pull yourself up by your bootstraps and do something with yourself, but what if you're born in East St. Louis or worse places than that, to where you don't have the same opportunities that, like, I was born on third base. If I got hooked on crack and and then got into the cycle of jail and then tried to pull myself out, I've got parents
Yeah.
that would
Yeah.
help me out.
You'd have
Not everybody has
parents that
parents,
send
yeah.
you to Florida.
That's fine.
And get rehab.
Yeah, that's fine. Not everybody has that, but people.
Right.
While you reference East St. Louis, there's plenty of people that have gone to school, and there's more scholarships out there than you can imagine for black males
100%.
that can't go to college. They said they can't go to college. If you get through high school and have enough good grades, there's so many scholarships out there for you. It's mind blowing. So for a black male or a black female, there's so many scholarships out there.
I think what
disagreeing with you.
I'm not
AJ is
disagreeing with
saying
you.
is that people make the choice. Like
So-
you can either be a person and you choose to run drugs and be a gangster and
Yeah.
waste your fucking life, or you can go to school and you can get a good education and take those scholarships and be something.
Exactly.
Now, if you don't have parents like me and AJ, is what AJ's saying. If you don't have a good upbringing,
You can
like
still do
we're
it on your
saying,
own.
But
Not
lot
everybody
of people
can.
don't do that.
Not everybody can
there's
'cause
some
they're not
people-
strong enough. That's fine.
But there's some people that are strong enough, like you're trying to say,
Yeah.
is that they're strong enough to overcome these challenges. Like think of NWA, okay? Think of Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, Eazy-E, all these dudes that grew up gangsters and drug dealers, and they wanted more than that. They're like, fuck this life, I want more than this. Fucking Ice Cube is one of the biggest actors in Hollywood right
He
now.
makes
But
a
he
lot.
movies he has done.
You also bring up another
He does a
point,
good-
though,
yeah.
is if you grow up in Compton and your only father figure is the gangs, and the only way to survive going to and from school is to join one of these gangs so that you're higher and, there's power in numbers, right? You're almost forced into the lifestyle.
Yeah, honestly.
And those guys are the 1% of 1% that made it out through rap.
Yeah.
Think about all the kids that die or are in the jail cycle and that don't make it out.
Yeah.
They don't. But what about the kids that didn't join the gang? I mean, that's in Compton. That's a
But
different
think
story.
about if that's all you knew. If you grew up and that's all you knew.
Yeah.
Think about it.
So
If you didn't have
that's a
good
bigger
parents.
topic than that. That's a
Yeah.
bigger topic than that. Do we have enough time to discuss that big topic then?
I mean, we've got 10 minutes.
We got plenty of time.
Nah, but I mean, all I'm saying is that we tend to generalize
Yeah.
by saying, just, oh, well, there's scholarships. Oh, well, there's this, there's that. Get your shit together, right?
Clearly. But you guys are just doing the exact same thing by grouping people together.
Explain yourself.
Compton. So I'm assuming that you're saying that's mostly black people. You're talking about
He's
Ice Cube and
saying
Eazy-E.
he's saying that by us saying Compton and East St. Louis and things like that, we're stereotyping that area as a gang related area.
I
and-
never
and
said
a-
that, by the way. You guys did. East St. Louis is not
That's what
necessarily
he's-
gang related. There's
that's-
plenty of people that have the
yeah,
opportunity to go to college.
No, but
from there.
what I'm saying is the disenfranchised in general, right?
I mean,
I mean, we're not. I'm not making shit up about Compton.
Compton's a
Right.
completely different
We're
situation
not making
than
shit
East,
up about
How
East
is it?
St.
How is it a
Louis.
completely different situation?
than East St. Louis.
Well, then, yeah, but it's relative, right?
It's kind of relative. Yeah, there's
If
one,
you have a
there's
shit
one
situation
school
in
district
Compton-
in East St. Louis, and there's probably 14 in Compton.
Okay, but all I'm saying is if you have those struggles,
Yeah,
it's harder
to get out of it.
To
It
get
is
out of
harder.
it than what we had, or somebody just saying, "Oh, we'll get your fucking shit together."
I think what you're trying to say is that no matter what upbringing you have, you need to look at the facts and be like, okay, this is where I need to go, and I should go with that route because that's going to put me higher in society and it's going to put me better in my own life. I think that's what you're trying to say.
I don't even know how we got here.
Yeah, yes. Is there going to be a point in a time that somebody lives in a impoverished area that, yes, it's very much tougher to make yourself better, but there's still an opportunity to make yourself better. You don't have to rely on what you said, sucking into the gang factor. Is it dangerous not to do that? Probably. As in referencing Compton. If you don't go into a gang whenever you're 14, is it dangerous not to do that? Probably. Is it dangerous to walk to school? Probably. But if you don't do that and you make it out and you make something big of yourself, more props to you. You didn't fall into that life, and it is possible.
But
It's something that
You're
people
correct.
can do.
But is there a way that we can circumvent the situation to where they don't have to make the fucking choice?
It is a choice. That's pretty much what you just said. There's no way to circumvent where you live.
Circumvent is
No,
taking
but
away
can we
free
circumvent
will
the
in a way.
problems in those areas? There's scabs.
How would you like to do that?
There are.
Do you have a good idea to do that for?
I don't. I'm not well
No,
versed
there-
in it,
so
but
there's
there's got to
not.
be a way.
Currently, right now, there's not a good way to do that. So for somebody to succeed that lives in a impoverished area or a gang-related area,
You don't think there's any way to improve upon East St. Louis, Compton, or name your ghetto?
well, in Illinois right now, we have no fucking money. So what are we going to do to support them?
Well, you're not going to get rid of any of that unless you get rid of racism. Why is there gangs in the first place? There's the Bloods and the Crips. I don't like you because you fly the red flag. I don't like you because you fly the blue flag. I disagree about something fucking stupid and then it turns into a gang war. That's all. But it's racism. I don't like
This
those
conversation
people
is
because they act
exhausting.
like that. You know, it comes down to the biggest fucking problem in this country and of the fucking world is that we choose to group each other and stereotype each other and say, okay, I don't like you because you work out and I don't work out. So fuck you.
you got bigger
You
legs
know,
than I do, Jay.
you got
Fuck
big
you.
arms.
You know what this all
and
boils
you're-
back
you're
down to?
muscular, and I don't like you, and I'm scrawny
Little
as fuck.
penises.
But
It's
and
too
that,
easy
that's
to get
what
food.
Too easy to get food,
Yeah.
and there's too many people.
But
That's
that's-
like the only thing I think I've said on this entire podcast.
But it's
my
so
only
stupid.
argument.
But it's so stupid because you realize that people do that every day. Black fights with black, white fights with white, brown fights with brown. Everybody. It doesn't matter what race or color you are. You fight with yourself and you fight with everyone outside of you. Until we come to the realization that we're fucking human and we're all the exact same, we just grow up in different fucking places on the same fucking rock. We're never going to get anywhere.
Preach, sir. Preach.
Which is
Let's get
something
the fuck out of here.
There's
We
something
went
everybody should
way
do.
off the rails this week, guys, but we're coming back hard next week. And as always,
Please, please,
Just chill the fuck out.
chill the fuck out.
Chill the fuck out. Chill the fuck out.
Feeling myself too much, oh, I'm missing your touch. Listen the way you say my name. If I'm away, you know I stay, but I got these songs to cut. And still with an empty cup. I've been sipping this drink too much, but goddamn, I've been working hard as fuck. And what's one without playing LA? I'm California dreaming.